You are now listening to the official newscast authorized by the Emperor of the United States. This is Don Colleton, the official newscaster for the Emperor. The time is 11:57 hours at the time of this recording on the 11th of August, 2022. The Emperor would like to share his pleasure with his loyal subjects that have obeyed his authority without question, and his displeasure at those who still attempt to defy his imperial rule, more or less ignore him. The Emperor has expressed his feeling of being greatly insulted by those who ignore his rule and has hereby resolved to commit the following action. By royal decree, Joseph I, Emperor of the United States of America, has made being disloyal to the Emperor as well as ignoring him an imperial crime of the highest of all treasons, and as such will be placed under arrest by the Emperor's imperial guards and thrown into prison for the length of a single day, and will be increased by the same time frame as much as it takes until disloyal subjects come around to acknowledging our Emperor without question. That being said, we shall move on with our summary and follow-ups to our previous newscast. Production of the Josephian dollar is skyrocketing at a reasonable pace thanks to our country's royal treasury that operates within the Emperor's royal palace. Loyal subjects are to be reminded that fines will be levied at those who are caught still using the outlawed U.S. dollar. The Emperor sends his warmest regards to President Biden for negotiating with Saudi Arabia in the past couple of weeks, arguing for the glorious case for oil supplies to be sent to the United States, and hopes that this will be a stepping stone on the road to open up all supply chains for and inside the country. Andrew Torba of Gab has yet to respond to the Emperor's request for a summons to discuss his possible new position as High Priest of the United States, and the Emperor would very much appreciate it if Mr. Torba could respond post-haste, lest the position be granted to another qualified individual. The Emperor expresses his disgust at those individuals who still refuse to vaccinate themselves against COVID-19, monkeypox, fawpaw, and ninjapox, and his even greater disgust at those imperial guards who refuse to comply with the Emperor's royal decree that states that everyone who does not get vaccinated will be executed by a firing squad. Please do not make the Emperor angry by ignoring his solemn words. That goes for both subjects and the royal elite. Get vaccinated. As of this time, the United States has not declared their neutrality in all agencies, but the Emperor feels that this is a good step in getting started. The Emperor would like to voice his displeasure at those still disobeying both his royal decree and the Supreme Court decision to ban abortion. A reminder that the Emperor also supports abortion, but feels that the decisions of the Supreme Court should be upheld even though the organization may try to censor the Emperor. That has not happened yet, so the Emperor feels confident that the Supreme Court has accepted him as their true leader of the United States. Now we move on to new business that the Emperor has conducted. The first order of new business is the relocation of the U.S. capital from Washington, D.C. to Stone Marina, Indiana. This happens to be the Emperor's hometown, but he feels it necessary to stay within the comforts of his own home. So, he has now officially, by royal decree, moved the United States capital from Washington, D.C. to his hometown, where he has spent many of his glorious years before he even became emperor, to Stone Marina. It is a small town in the southwestern part of Indiana, a very humble and quiet place, if I do say so myself. So when the final tasks for relocation are completed, the Emperor shall feel more at home and relaxed to do his imperial duties. There is a new recruiting drive for the Emperor's Imperial Guard going on. As you have already known by some of our reports, some of the Imperial Guards seem to think it funny to refuse to do services or even make fun of the emperor himself. So, the emperor has authorized a recruiting drive. If you are interested, please go to www.imperialguardsusa.com/recruit. That is again www.imperialguardsusa.com/recruit if you are interested in joining the Emperor's Imperial Guards. The Emperor, while trying to establish communications with Andrew Torba of Gab, has also decided to establish communications with well-known YouTuber Minilad, aka Craig Thompson, if I am pronouncing the name correctly. The Emperor expresses his wish to make Mr. Thompson the head of education, where he will always be near around the finest and brightest children, not just of the United States, but also of the world. The Emperor has heard many concerns about Mr. Thompson, but he rest assures those gangs of naysayers that someone of Craig Thompson's stature can be totally trusted around your children and will most definitely not manipulate them to any negative effect, more or less use them as sexual objects, as these naysayers have reported. Most of these allegations are described by Mr. Thompson as fake news. But, of course, for Mr. Thompson, there is a limited time for him to answer. If Mr. Craig Thompson does not answer this call to be the head of education, the job will go to Chris Cuomo in order to meet his financial needs. We now move on to China's land grabs. The Emperor expresses his disdain toward China about buying land within the United States. As a quote from the Emperor to the President of China, "Please stay within your own backyard. Otherwise, we may launch a political protest against you, in which we will tell you to stop and stay within your own continent." Another royal decree that has been passed by the Emperor is the Don't Call Us Hoosiers bill. By royal decree, the Emperor has banned the use of the term Hoosier used to describe people from his native state of Indiana. The Emperor finds this term offensive, unnecessary, and outdated. As a replacement term for Hoosier, the Emperor has proposed using the term Indy Bindies to describe people from Indiana. Those who do not use the new term and stick with the old term, Hoosier, shall be arrested by the Imperial Guards and jailed for 1 day. And finally, the Emperor touches upon the January 6th Committee. The Emperor expresses his great displeasure toward this committee and wishes for the committee itself to be disbanded. A quote from the Emperor, "The people have seen enough of this farce. If this committee refuses to disband, they shall face being arrested by the Imperial Guard and sent to the same prisons where the January 6th prisoners currently reside and have them switch places." As another quote from the Emperor states, "The committee can have a dose of their own medicine." You have just been listening to the official newscast authorized by the Emperor of the United States. This has been Don Culleton speaking. As a quick reminder for everyone out there, the Emperor's birthday is coming up. The Emperor refuses to reveal his age as a sign of weakness, but you can celebrate the Emperor's birthday coming up on August the 15th of this year. Please put up pictures of the Emperor as requested, or else you will be arrested for not participating in royal events. Again, this has been Don Culleton, the official newscaster for the Emperor, speaking. Hail to the Emperor, ruler of America.